The Navy's expanding its fleet of Growler aircraft stationed on Whidbey Island, increasing takeoffs and landings to nearly 100,000 per year. The jets are an essential tool in the Navy's arsenal, capable of jamming enemy communications equipment, and they train at an airfield a few miles from homes and businesses in Coopville. Neighbors have complained about the noise for years. Now they're taking legal action.
We filed a lawsuit because the Navy just would not listen to us.
A group of homeowners, along with Attorney General Bob Ferguson, are suing the Navy, alleging it violated the National Environmental Policy Act, the law requiring federal agencies to consider their impacts on the environment.
The Navy's got to follow the law just like everybody else. They're no different.
Among their complaints, they say the Navy did not adequately examine how the Growler expansion and its increased noise might affect the health of nearby people and wildlife.
You cannot go outside while the Growlers are training. They're flying 200 feet above your head. We've measured the noise in the range of 105 to 120 decibels.
A spokesperson for Naval Air Station Whidbey Island declined to comment on the specifics of the lawsuit, but did say the Navy believes its work on the expansion was thorough and comprehensive and met the government's environmental requirements.
Attorney General Ferguson says he's considering adding additional claims to his lawsuit, and those would be under the Endangered Species Act. It's the marbled murrelet seabird they're concerned with. Ferguson says he'll reconsider if the federal government steps in and makes some changes. We also reached out to the Department of Justice for comment, and we're still waiting to hear back.
All right, King 5's Ted Land. Thank you, Ted.